What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Ride and Dad channel video, or welcome if it's first time. Either way, very glad to have you. Obviously, you know what we're doing. You saw the thumbnail. What is different is that the bike is already kind of taken apart, but it's okay. I videoed all of that. Let's roll the intro. We'll come back.
Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a
So I did go ahead and get a video of all this, which you'll see in a second. Yeah, so basically, as you'll see as well, I'll do a before picture now. I went ahead and painted. Now I did call a couple places. The problem with where I'm at in Southwest Florida, there are very few powder coating shops available right now, and my fork was leaking. So I did not want to take the stuff off just to redo everything and then go ahead and take it all apart again to get them powder coated. Those of you who know, I want to do away with this bronze color. Yes, I know I have a brown seat, brown cap and all that. This was here before. The seat is going to be changed soon, and the grips are very easy to change as well. I do not want to do brown anymore. I'm going to go black, black, dark kind of tones, and I want to do a new school meets like 80s of like neon kind of stuff. I think that'd be cool to do on a bike like this, especially since it's a Sportster, the last of a dying breed with the Evo engines. But anyway, so I went ahead and painted. I'll show you guys a completed one now, even though you guys will watch me do it. But I'll do a before picture and an after picture as well. But this is the kind of end thing. Now, could they be a little bit better? Sure, but I also did not prep this at all. This bike is not a show quality bike, so I did not sand it. All I did was clean it. I did clean it extensively so the paint would stick, but I did not sand it, I did not buff, and the coat prior was not a gritty, but it wasn't a gloss. It was like a matte kind of, if that makes sense, like this bronze color from Harley is kind of like a matte, almost like an undertone of sandy finish, if that makes sense. It's hard to describe, but it's not a gloss finish. So that's what's under this. So this kind of mimicked that finish, obviously, because I didn't put, 5 millimeters thick of paint. But I spent about $14-ish on some Duplicolor. I'll put a picture up as well of the paint I used. And it did come out pretty good. Hopefully, it's going to be fairly durable. There were some minor scratches on this prior that obviously showed through this coat. But it's the front forks, so it's going to need to take bugs and stuff hitting it at highway speeds. I went with the Duplicolor because I've had really good luck with it in the past for automotive type stuff, and it's a factory match for paint on cars. It's an automotive type. It is one of the most expensive paints. However, I got mine on sale, and I just got a general black and a general clear protective coating on the top. But anyway, took them off, replaced them. I did go ahead. You'll see me. Basically, it's a fork seal and dust seal kit for this bike. It is Drag Specialties part 0407-0674, and all that's going to come with is the lower seal and then the dust cap. That's it. I did, because mine were kind of banged up, I did go ahead and buy these off of Amazon. They're just kind of covers. I actually think these might be plastic, and I think the stock ones are metal. So actually, I take that back. These are not plastic, they're metal, but they're definitely a thinner metal. The quality is definitely not as high, but they were also like $12 for these. And as you can see, these are kind of scraped up and banged up. I think probably my assumption would be that a fork job was done in the past by the past owner, and they just for lack of a better term, they kind of crapped the bed. Well, now the new ones are scratched as well. So yeah, there we go. Actually, it's okay. But yeah, so they're not plastic, but they definitely are a very thin metal compared to what they are. But these are just caps. This doesn't really matter that much. This is just kind of covering there, and as long as it fits good, which this one does. Like I said, I did this one off camera just to make sure I kind of knew what I was talking about before I fully explained it. I didn't run into any weird issues. But yeah, so without further ado, you'll see me disassemble it. You'll see me take them off, uninstall everything, and now we're back to, now these are empty. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall them on the bike, and then that way I'll have something that really grabs the top of the fork. That way I can loosen the canister on top and deal with the spacer and the spring and everything like that. But you'll see that in 3 or 4 minutes in this video anyway. Now you'll go ahead and see me uninstall everything and right back to where we are right now, which is the reinstall of the other fork, not the other side, the other fork. All right, once you're at this point, you are going to need a specialty tool that I happen to purchase. Motion Pro makes one. I happen to buy one from Amazon that was super cheap. It's just a fork seal driver. This one obviously for 39mm forks because that's what we have here. I do believe this is plastic, but it's an incredibly sturdy plastic. And unless you're doing like fork jobs continuously at a professional level, I don't think you'll have any issue with something like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece back in, and forgive me for not knowing the technical term for some of these. Now I've seen this done a few different ways. The way that I choose to do it is to put these in individually. That way I don't put too much pressure on the fork seal. So I'm gonna put this ring back, put the driver on it. Now sometimes you can go ahead and, now this one's seating pretty good, but I will go ahead and tap it home a little bit on each side just to make sure it really seats fully in there. Once that's in there, it's time for the seal. Now the seal does come, make sure that your springs are on both sides from the factory, and if you do see this, it has a little lip on one side and kind of like an outer ring. Now if you pay attention to how your old one came out, let me see if this one's kind of just all kind of shot. So I'll just try my best to explain it on this one. It kind of tapers in, and the tapering in has to face up. So on this side, you can kind of see it has a little bit of a beveled edge here and a little bit of a wider edge. Wider edge goes on the bottom. So I'm gonna push this one down. Go ahead and seat this as well. You'll realize when it kind of seats, has a little more of a dense feeling. And then this is the dust cover, which just fits over top of that. All right, once you make sure that's all sealed up, you go ahead and take your factory caps, or in my case, the new cap, run that down. Now I did paint over these, so it is gonna be a little bit harder to seal. But either way, so you'll see some paint kind of flack off here, but your factory coating should be pretty easy to come on. Make sure that is sealed all the way around, and this one is, and it is time to go ahead and start putting everything back on the bike. Once you got the forks back on, make sure this bottom one is tight so the bike doesn't fall. And go ahead and loosen this cap. Well, this is the method I'm doing. You could do this off the bike, but this is way easier. Now, I did go ahead and loosen this off camera. This is incredibly tight, and be careful because there is a spring under here. I'm actually gonna move the camera back, make it a little bit easier on myself for this. There is a spring under there and a little spacer thing, so you do need to make sure that you are holding it. Actually, when we get a little bit closer here, I'm gonna wind up getting a towel and just hold a towel over it. Make sure stuff doesn't go everywhere, because I've never done it with 39mm forks. The inverted front end I had on my Lowrider S wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as people made it seem, which means this is probably going to be twice as bad, because that's how stuff goes for me. So. Wonder if we can do a little bit by hand. Nope, not yet. Jesus! I personally like to take the spring out. It is easier to fill with nothing in there. So I'm going to set this aside on the oil pan, or the oil drain pan. Now, everything I have looked up for this bike says that my forks stock take 9 ounces or 266 milliliters. So I'm going to go over to my 20 weight oil. So I went ahead and measured out 9 ounces. I use V-twin fork oil from Maxima, and there's my 9 ounces. Just trying to get ahead and pour it into this fork. All right, once your oil's in there, put the spring back in. And now the fun part is trying to put this cap back on. Yeah, this is gonna be a pain in the butt. I'm gonna try to jack the bike up a little bit, take even more compression off of this. So I actually moved the camera, and then off camera I was able to push it with my palm, get my body weight behind it and hold it, move my hand, and then keep doing it enough till it grabbed. And now we're gonna go ahead and tighten it the rest of the way down. And then obviously, self-explanatory, you're gonna do the same thing for the other side, the other fork. And then you're gonna go out and test it. All right, so that's it. Is it an easy job? It's easy in terms of the skill level you need to complete it. It's a very pretty self-explanatory on these kind of forks where they're both the same. Now, if you have inverted forks, it's a little different. Each one does different things, so it's a little bit more complicated as far as uninstall and reinstall, stuff like that. But on the Sportster, any fork like this is very easy. It's just difficult to get that cap back on. It's just an annoying thing because you're dealing with the weight of the bike and propping it up and down constantly. Your bars might get in the way. That's why my bars are down. But other than that, yeah, it's a very relatively simple job to do. And for me, I had to reseal it. So I really didn't have a choice but to get in there anyway. So it is what it is. Hopefully I don't have to reseal these for a very long time. But yeah. Let me know what you thought in the comments. All the links for the products that I used, my build series playlist for other bikes, my TikTok, Instagram, everything like that. It's in the comments, or it's in the description every time, every video. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Turn on post notifications. Like this video. It helps me out a ton, and I appreciate it. Let me know if this video helped you out, or why I did something stupid according to you. There's a fly on my camera, so I guess that's time to end it. Thank you guys very much for watching, and until the next time, ride safe, have fun. Dad out.